On Monday, Greece ends its tertiary and definitive finance rescue program, possessing acquired euro to 89 bn, pound to 59 bn, dollar 330 bn, above 8-year. By the government and its Europe lenders are acute to color the end of the recent rescue as a nice item, possessing avoiding a Grexit in that the nation would include smashed out of the Eurozone in unidentified area. But for lot Greeks, particularly the youthful, the harm has already been made. A latter survey indicates how 3/4 of the people believe the nation is led downward the incorrect way. The identical quantity believe the rescue deals, quite rather than save Greece, in fact harmed the nation. Taxes stay top and more than rather than 90% of Greeks trust the lenders will hold a shut look on the nation's conducting for year. There's how the meltdown play of. The meltdown hit all components of Hellenic community, but it was especially difficult on the youthful. Among 2008 and 2016 the nation lose nearly 4% of its countrymen to immigration, more than rather than 400,000 human beings. And time Greece didn't recording the ages of such emigration, the nation is receive older. The ordinary, middle, age has jumped by more than rather than 4 persons year with 2008, and time such elderly 20 to 39 utilized to do up 29% of the people, house fall to fair 24%. He says the economical improved with the spike of the meltdown in 2012 are not quite to include modified how. Greeks loving their nation, and lot would back the other, they mind they could discover a worth job and nice prospects behind household, he says. Low salary and top taxes for the personality employed do such nice prospects uncommon. Though a top case script of a constant job presents difficult situation if you wish to keep yours parents' household, include family, conduct a complete and significant lifetime, he told. Portion of the cause for the outcome is a absence of job opportunities. Greece's joblessness bet pointed at 27.5% in 2013, but for such by 25, it was more than rather than dual how, at 58%. Recent year, more than rather than 4 persons in each 10 youthful Greeks were yet unemployed. Human beings are convinced, and fairly so, how strictness policies will go on for the year to go, says Dr. Vasilis Leontitis, a lecturer in globalization teaching at the College of Brighton. I aware how I am departure to include a hard next, she said him. My friends and I include stopped planner, since no question how lot we schedule, anything is to materialize. Mr. Leontitis says Sames accompanied her advance with. She was agitated to get a promised job in on the internet turnover, but the business's impoverished productivity intended she lose how during 6 months. With later, she has just provided a portion-time job in a packing company, reliant on her household to do ends encounter. While I wrote on Greece's loose general, I intended precisely the, Mr. Leontitis says. Youthful human beings are disappointed concerning job prospects in Greece. Lot of youthful human beings, amongst them lot educated men, include leftward the nation aim for a superior next in some EU countries and for present, he says, this daily fact of the nation's youthful remnant very unreliable. The world finance meltdown began to very hit the Eurozone following 2008. Ireland, Spain, Portugal and Cyprus every necessary rescue loans to remain on water. But things were worst in Greece. In deceased 2009, it founded how Greece's domestic budgeting deficiency, or yearly obligation, was more than rather than 10% of the nation's whole economics, gross domestic product. By the end of the year, letter of credit ranking agencies had downgraded Greece's statute, manufacturing it stronger for Greece to adopt. But the real scope of the Hellenic issue was worse rather than it at first emerging. Thing had to be made. In the at first portion of 2010, by the government driven in sweep strictness packages, cut social pay and increase taxes. But it yet wasn't quite. By May, a almost ruined Hellenic nationality affected a transactions in the as-called trio, the EU, Europe Centre Banking and World Cash Foundation, know of that requested to see Greece failure on its obligation, afraid a bang-on impact on some nations. Though was the at first rescue, a lending of euro 110 bn. But it came in a state, though more than budgeting intermittent. Road protests ruined out versus the stringent strictness measures, ultimately laid forcible, and though resultant in a fistful of deaths. The strife extended, time Greece's letter of credit ranking was downgraded to rubbish statute. More than strictness accompanied the following year, and joblessness began to missile. In 2011, the other rescue was coordinated, the period for euro 109 bn, after fixed above to euro 130 bn protests extended, and in policy, against austerity parties' promise to deny conducting intermittent began manufacturing reached. Youthful joblessness pointed in 2013 at nearly 60%. Against EU mood was displayed at lot protests, of the flaming of the EU banner to signs on Greece creature a settlement of Deutsche Chancellor Angela Merkel. In December 2014, the besieged Hellenic by the government eventually compressed. In its location, the against austerity, leftward wing Syriza side won its at first domestic win. Syriza quickly implemented it had to accept strictness policies as ordered by the trio, Mr. Leonti says. This policy and economical coup it had incorporated on document never materialized. No just did Syriza near its coalition affiliate support strictness policies, but in lot cases it intensified them. Greece ended up needing a tertiary rescue, although, in a plebiscite organized by Syriza, most of Greeks discarded it. 2015 was a bustling summer, banks close, cash money withdrawals were bounded, and the Hellenic stockpile exchanging close for the monthly of July. By the government ultimately coordinated the tertiary rescue of euro 86 bn in August currently, 3 year after, how tertiary and definitive program of loans to Greece is end. But the effects could be thick felt for many decades. I am cautious on their next there, he says. Expert alert it will get year or many decades for Greece fare to back to the before crisis prosper levels. That is why parents love me attempt, to the top of our abilities, to ensure our family in the skills and expertise how can assist them get information and earth a job overseas, if requirement constitute. But the Hellenic human beings include enormous capacity, he says. I am not giver upwards. I trust it is our responsibility to at low try to do it there, up inviting it quits and driving overseas.